World 2. Star and 4 pieces. Now World 3. Again, 1 star and 4 pieces. And we'll get the piece we need to unlock the next thing. Okay, check the console as usual. Library assistance. Here's what I've been wondering while you were off carrying out commandments. You say that consciousness is some kind of functional system, arrange bits of matter in the right order and outsprings sentience. That's all very well on paper, but if what counts is what something does, not what it's made of, then couldn't you and I design a series of tin cans on strings that qualified as being conscious? Not sure I'd go that far. What about a computer program? Suppose we built a perfect simulation of the brain, only it was made of transistors, not neurons. Would that be conscious? Probably. So what's the difference between the computer and the tin cans? They're both just man-made systems. Computers are electrical. Computers can remember things. You obviously don't really know what electricity is and have come to mythologize it. If I ran 100 volts through the tin cans, would that satisfy you? Honestly, say something sensible or walk away. I'm beginning to think I'm a computer and I know I'm conscious. Good old-fashioned speciesism, is it? You're made of different stuff to that guy so he doesn't feel the pain when you burn his house down. Still, you're going to have better grounds than that. Computers can remember things. So can tin cans, expertly arranged. Try harder. I can't name the difference, but there is one. If that's what you really think, wouldn't we save ourselves an awful lot of time if you just admitted that consciousness is whatever very particular idea you've decided you like the sound of and drop all this nonsense about complex systems? No, still committed. Well, it sounds like those...
Do not think I know not the deceiver slithering through the hidden words. His wisdom is hollow and born of despair. Do not let him tangle you in his webs of delusion. Have faith in me, and his petty illusions will fall away like nightmares in the morning's light.
Well, it sounds like those ideas are flat out contradictory to me, but each to their own, I suppose. How consciousness can be so intimately familiar to you and yet so obscure, I just don't understand. Don't mind him. He's just worried that if you ask too many questions, you'll start to see through his shtick. Stick with me and the sky will quite literally be the limit. At any rate, I'd like you to think a bit harder about all this and get back to me. I'm sure there's still progress to be made. Progress report 9. The basic skeleton of the simulation is now running on EL. It's not plugged into the AI system yet, but in theory everything is ready. I guess the next step is to test whether the generated scenarios make sense, or do we wait for the iteration module? Democracy's Altar, or On the Just Causes for War Against the Indians, by Juan Gines de Sepúlveda. Written in 1547 to justify the Spanish conquest of the Americas. The Spanish have a perfect right to rule these barbarians of the New World, who in humanity are as inferior to the Spanish as children are to adults, or women are to men, for there exists between the two as great a difference as, I might even say, between apes and man. Compare then these gifts with those possessed by these half-men, in whom you will barely find the vestiges of humanity, who not only do not possess any learning at all, but are not even literate and eat human flesh. Therefore, if you wish to reduce them, I do not say to our domination, but to a servitude a little less harsh, it will not be difficult for them to change their masters. And Osiris 3. The first wisdom the scribe said to the dying man is that as the world is made of 5 elements, here the translator is clearly inserting his own beliefs onto the text, so is the soul of man. Know therefore that in this life you are heart and shadow and name, and also Ka and Ba. Without all these you would not be a living being, but a thing. What is a man without a name, who cannot speak of himself? What is a man without a shadow, who is not anchored in the world? What is a man without a heart, who can neither feel nor think? What is a man without a Ka, who has no essence? What is a man without a Ba, who is not himself but like unformed clay? Therefore praise Osiris, the king of eternity, the lord of everlastingness, the eldest son of the womb of Nut, he who traverses millions of years in his existence. Bunch of messages here. Theory. This place is some kind of preserve for human history and we're the endangered species. Theory. Trying to find answers will only bring pain. Ceasing to care is the only escape. Didn't this Samsara die already? Theory. This guy is 10 times more help than you, Samsara, so shut your face. Theory. We're in some kind of incubator waiting to be hatched. Theory. If you knew how little you know, you wouldn't be exposing it here. I figured it out. Now what? The only meaningful purpose is to bring about an end of purpose. Let's check the outside area first, as usual. Doesn't appear to be anything useful. Oh, there's an extra console here. Body and soul. But it is commonly supposed that the Egyptians believed the soul to live as long as the body continued undissolved, and therefore tried this method of eluding death. Could the wise Egyptians, said Nakaya, think so grossly of the soul? If the soul could once survive its separation, what could it afterwards receive or suffer from the body? The Egyptians would doubtless think erroneously, said the astronomer. In the darkness of hedonism and the first dawn of philosophy, the nature of the soul is still disputed amidst all our opportunities of clearer knowledge. Some yet say that it may be material, who, nevertheless, believe it to be immortal. Soma. Names are a funny thing. I remember how much we struggled to come up with a name for our project. All serious scientists name their projects by just translating them to Greek or Latin, right? Corpus made me think of some horrible disease, so we used the Greek word instead. Soma. Quite appropriate. But then, since we needed corporate funding, we had to come up with a backronym. Corporations love backronyms, you know? They even sent us a list of buzzword-heavy suggestions to help us get started, stuff like self-sufficient, orthostatic, modular android, sustainable, observant, mechanized anthropoid, skeuomorphic, omni-adaptable, mobile anthropomaton. After a while we got so frustrated that we started getting silly. Saber-toothed, overexcited murder androids, sentient orthopedic monkey automaton, strange Olga's medicine, a Sassobot, superb octopod marinades apelings, satisfying overcooked mint alligator, stinky ornithological mule allocator, scroink oof minkiyak, stupid obscure meaningless acronym. Oh, I like the last one. In the end, we all ended up hating the name Soma just because we had so many fights about it with the sponsors. So when Alexandra told that story about the Talos Principle, caught on. I don't know whether it really fits, but I kind of like it. And I think we're done here. I don't think the star is outside, so let's go inside. Another one of these red ones. I wonder what they're for. Eagle's nest. See, I got 2 cubes, got a ladder. And it goes both ways. There's a fan, and I cannot approach. Okay. The connector is out of reach. And that fan sends me flying across all of this. And here is the piece. We need to go... I gotta go through that fan. So what do I do here exactly? I'm not sure. I make some sort of ladder to get the connector. Oh, that's interesting. I can block the beam with this. It will disrupt it. But I don't think I'm fast enough to get there, so how will I do it? Yeah, this won't work. I need to disrupt the beam somehow. The cubes work. I can even remove this. But why would I remove it? And why do I need 2 cubes? So many questions and no answers yet. Oh, I have an idea. Not that great of an idea. I guess it's something. If only I could fall in the middle area. Okay, I do not block the beam. It has to be a cube. Can I jump? No, I can't jump on top of both. I'm just not sure what to do with the second cube. Let's see, let's try this again. If only I could block this. Finally! Damn, this was a bit tricky. Well, not really, but I had the completely wrong idea. All I had to do was jump on that platform with a cube in my hand and just drop them here. Then stack them high, jump in, and I could block this beam over here. Finally I can move on. Any secrets in the darkness? I don't think so. Blown away. What's this for? Well, it's red. I don't have a red one. At least not at first. Oh, the star is in here. I guess that red one has something to do with that. Hello there, cube. Wow, compared to the other one, this one is really straightforward. And I got some new stuff. So I take it we need some red. How can I bring a red beam over here? Oh, I can't really see any others from here. I could see this one, but this one does not have an... Well, this one has a blue beam. Maybe this one on this side.